Hello, welcome back to my channel. I have been scrolling on Pinterest a lot lately and I've seen a lot of handbags and I've really been inspired by all of those, so I'm planning on making one today. Here is the inspo of what I want to try and make.
Okay, so I have this pair of black cargo pants that I was going to get rid of, but now I'm turning into the bag, and I'm just going to cut along the edges to flatten it out. And here I am cutting the seams. I'm using my fabric scissors. I used to have better ones, but I think someone used them for cutting paper, so now they're dull. I don't really know how to explain exactly what I'm doing. I'm just kind of cutting along the seams to make it flat so I can cut out the shape that I want. Here it is, and then I just doubled it up, as you can see here, because I need to cut two of the same thing. And I use this bag that I have for reference, and I'm just tracing out this little rectangle shape, as you can see. And now I'm just pinning it together. This is going to be the front panel, the back panel, and the little flap on top for the messenger bag shape. And also I pinned them in rainbow order, as you can see. And I'm just going to cut out the edges. And here it is. And now you can kind of start to see the shape a little bit. There's the little flap, and then that's going to be the pocket. And I'm going to add a little strip of fabric around the edges just to give it some depth and make it an actual messenger bag. Now I'm just going to cut out the strip of fabric that goes around the edge to give it more depth. So here it is. That's going to be about as deep as it is. And then I'm just pinning it together. I'm pinning it where the right sides are together, so it makes a nice clean edge. Sorry, this is kind of hard to explain, but anyway, you should definitely not be using this as a tutorial, at all. I'm not using a pattern. I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm trying to give you the vision, you know? So anyway, here it is pinned. You can kind of see the shape of the bag more, that's the inside, you know? And finally, I'm so excited. We're get to sewing, so I'm just threading my machine. I'm using black thread. Yeah. I'm using a Singer heavy duty machine. And then this is when I realized that I had to repin the entire thing if I wanted the machine to go over it. So I did that. That took actually not as long as I expected. It's not too bad, but sorry you also can't see anything. I could not find a good angle to do this, so I had to settle for this one. But I'm just sewing it through. I'm using a zigzag stitch because that gives a more structured and solid. And here is where I broke my needle. I have no idea how I did it, but anyway, here it is, and I'm just pinning the flap, so I'm hemming that now just to make sure it doesn't fray and it just looks more professional, you know? Yeah, sewing it. Now I have my big bag of fabric. That's where I keep all my fabric and scraps and stuff that I've had from previous projects. And I'm going to pick out something to turn into a pocket. So I'm just looking through all of those options. I have a good amount, just I want to make sure it fits the vision, the vibe. Okay, I have 3 options to choose from. I have this red and white checkered plaid thing, this light gray blue thing, and this white with tiny little flowers. And I thought about it for 2 seconds, and I decided to go with the white one. Here I laid it out on my bag and I cut it to size. I didn't have to be super exact with it because I folded it over when I pinned it so it wouldn't fray. And I'm just pinning down the edges in place so it doesn't move when I start sewing it. And here it is. I took a little break for dinner, so that's why it's a lot darker, but now I'm sewing it. And okay, as I'm editing this, I just finished episode 8 of The Amazing Digital Circus, and oh my gosh. Anyway, I finished the pocket. Here it is. It's even later now. And now I have the straps, and it's gonna be kind of like that. I pinned it, so when I turn it inside out, it has a nice edge, but that's kind of how it's gonna look. It's coming together so well already.
Hello, everybody. I just took a shower, and I'm in my sleep shirt. It's a lot later. I am almost done with the strap. I just need to finish sewing it on. It's just pinned right now, but it's really looking good. I mean, like, compared to the inspo. Hello, it is the next day. I redyed my hair, so I feel very fresh. And I sewed the straps. It's no longer pinned together. I just need to trim it. So here it is. I just sewed it on the sides and I sewed it together. The next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little star right here on the little flap, and I'm going to decorate it and embroider it.
Okay, I don't know why I put this in, but I got this Shamrock McFlurry from McDonald's and it was pretty good. Anyway, so I'm adding this patch, so I cut out a little star out of the same fabric from the pocket and I pinned it and I sewed it all off camera because it took so long. And now I have this little pin. It says, "Don't yell at me, I will cry." I love it so much. It's literally so me core. Anyway, I noticed this little mistake on hemming the flap, so I went ahead and fixed that just because it was really bugging me. Now I have my jar of buttons, which I love buttons so much. They're so cutesy. And I'm going to make a pin with them. So I picked out these 3 and I hot glued them onto this little safety pin to make a DIY pin. And oh my gosh, I've said pin so many times, but I put it on the bag. It looks so cute next to my other one. And then I took this little necklace, which is sewing themed, and it broke, so I put a little key ring on it to make into a little keychain, and I put it on the bag. I love it so much. Now I have this little frog pin, which I also got from Hot Topic. The other pin was from that too. And here it is, the bag all decorated. I'll probably add more things later, but this is good for now. And now here I am wearing it. I'm so excited to use this. It's so much fun.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.